Hello and welcome to coverage of round 14 here at Grand Prix Indianapolis. Team sealed Maria Bartholdi alongside Jacob Van Lunen. And this is what it has all come down to. Austin Bursavich, Seth Manfield, Ben Friedman versus Matt Costa, Dave Shiels, and Adam Snook. Whew, what a final round matchup we've got here. Two fantastic teams.
Yeah, I mean, we have the #1 player in the world in the feature match area here, and if his team wins, they're locked for the top 4. Playing against Costa, Shiels, and Snook here, they cannot make the top 4 here, even with a win. But obviously playing to get a higher place in the tournament, get more prizes, more pro points, definitely worthwhile for them to try to get this match, obviously.
All right, let's kick things off here on Table A. Austin Bursavich versus Matt Costa. White and black mana available to Austin. Blue and black for Matt Costa. Going to kick things off with a pretty potent 2-drop there at Wanted Scoundrels, 4-3 for 2. Ooh, Austin's also got some blue mana going on. Water Trap Weaver will save him from 4 damage for a while there. Profane Procession, though, is the play from Matt Costa. And if there's been one card that has been responsible for more losses this weekend than Profane Procession, I want to know what it is. In comes the Water Trap Weaver. And Austin is just going to dump more cards from his hand onto the battlefield. Skittering Heartstopper. Sailor of Means comes along with the treasure token. Back over to Costa, who plays an Arch of Araska. And I see a handy-dandy little card in there in Matt Costa's hand.
It looks like he has a Hostage Taker to go with that Profane Procession.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Matt Costa doesn't like playing with his own cards. Come on. Sadistic Sky Marcher, here is the play for Costa. Back over to Bursavich. He also has a Deadeye Brawler in hand, Costa does, which is really nice blue, black, gold cards to work with, as well as a Water Knot. Skittering Heartstopper is the attack here for Austin.
Yeah, one thing I really like from Matt Costa here is he had a very favorable attack there with his Wanted Scoundrels, but he recognizes, I have this Profane Procession. I have this Hostage Taker in my hand. I don't need to be playing this game to try to win, to try to, beat my opponent in the racing situation that normally comes up in this limited format. Instead, I can wait, because if this game goes a little bit longer, the longer it goes, the more likely I am to have a very high chance of grinding my opponent, Austin Bursavich, out of the game with sheer card advantage and power level.
Spirewinder here, the follow-up from Austin Bursavich. There's a look at Profane Procession for you. Just been an absolute powerhouse all weekend. Played it a few times in draft. Also, dismally unfair in draft.
Yes.
Water Knot here will lock down the Spirewinder from Austin. And Costa is going to hit the gas. In comes the Sky Marcher, in come the Wanted Scoundrels.
Interested to see what Costa has to do with this remaining mana, if anything.
Well, he's just going to pass the turn back for now to Austin. That Sailor of Means you see there on the left side of your screen near the top is one of the cards that I think is a story from this weekend. I mean, we are familiar with it from Ixalan, but a lot more people have been playing it than you might possibly imagine. And you say it's just gone up and up and up in value.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten better in so many different ways. First of all, there are a lot of more powerful cards that you might want to splash in your deck in the new format. Cards that only have one of a particular color of mana in their casting costs that are very powerful. Then it gives you 2 cards in your quest for the City's Blessing. Just great in so many different ways.
Austin Bursavich here with the attack with that Sailor of Means as well as the Water Trap Weaver. Moment of Craving here on the Skittering Heartstopper is met with another Moment of Craving from Austin on that Sadistic Sky Marcher.
Yeah, Austin had to expect something like Moment of Craving was going to come from Matt Costa there, because Matt Costa had chosen to use the Water Knot instead of simply using the activated ability on Profane Procession to exile one of Austin's creatures.
Wanted Scoundrels brawling here for Costa. A Gleaming Barrier, by the way, in play for Bursavich. Deadeye Brawler here is a follow-up play. Is Bursavich deck the deck of walls that we saw a little earlier today? I can't remember. Somebody was playing like 3 Gleaming Barriers, 3 Sailor of Means.
Yes, Austin Bursavich was the individual who found themselves victim to the Polyraptor Herald of the Empire combo when he had to play against Paulo Vitor Damadurosa earlier.
Secrets of the Golden City here for Austin. He does have the city's blessing.
And drawing 3 cards for just 3 mana is quite the deal.
Yeah, Secrets of the Golden City, definitely one of the cards that feels just awesome to cast with Ascend. Deadeye Brawler here with Death Touch gets in. Remember, if it connects with Austin's life total, Matt Costa gets to draw a card, since he also has the city's blessing.
And because it has Death Touch, it also makes it really hard to block. Just as a 2/4 body, you'll often find people double blocking it and losing both their creatures.
Bursavich here lining up blocks. Looks like he wants to deal with the Wanted Scoundrels. He's going to put that barrier in front of the Deadeye Brawler. He'll come out with a treasure in that exchange.
And interestingly enough, because the Wanted Scoundrels will die and the Gleaming Barrier will die in this combat, Austin Bursavich will end up getting 3 treasure post-combat if things go as they look to be going here.
Here, though, is an activation of Profane Procession, taking that Sailor of Means from Matt Costa.
And that means that
Yikes.
Austin's only going to be getting 1 treasure there. And suddenly he has no board presence at all. And, you know, the power of Profane Procession, it's only exiled 1 creature now, but just the fact that it looms there, it means that Austin can't really tap out for a single creature on any following turn because it'll just get exiled and he'll, you know, be dead in 2 attacks. So he needs to be playing out, you know, 2 things to the board or just playing removal spells while not adding things to the board for a little while. Oh! Well, that actually changes some things. This is Awakening Sun's Avatar, so all non-dinosaur creatures going to go into the bin.
Wow!
Costa can obviously deal with that via Profane Procession.
Oh, yeah. or Hostage Taker, or whatever.
Yeah.
But Austin did some cleanup work, I suppose. Soul of the Rapids is the play. We're going to sacrifice some treasure here for Kumena's Awakening, which is a card I haven't seen him play yet this weekend. And
Austin now has the city's blessing. Last time he had the game seemingly locked up like this on camera was when he fell victim to the Polyraptor play. But Costa's hand is completely stacked. He has an Entrancing Melody and a Hostage Taker. Wow. He has this Profane Procession. If Austin Bursavich plays another threat besides this Hexproof threat he currently has in play, then Matt Costa's going to be in a really, really bad situation. Or then he's going to give Matt Costa tons of options. So right now, basically it's interesting because Austin Bursavich, the fact that he has this Hexproof threat, it turns off all of these super powerful cards on Costa's side of the board.
No, that's so interesting. By the way, Austin drawing 2 cards a turn as well.
Yeah.
Off of Kumena's Awakening. There's a look at Entrancing Melody.
Yeah, just a very powerful rare from Ixalan. You get to steal your opponent's creature permanently. A 2-for-1 that is exceptionally strong because you're not only getting a creature, but you're taking away a creature that your opponent has already spent mana for.
You know, I mentioned Austin drawing 2 cards a turn thanks to Kumena's Awakening. Matt Costa is making good use of that Arch of Araska as well to draw extra cards.
Lots of cards being drawn here by both players.
The kind of Magic a lot of people like to play.
Especially when you get into this last round of Swiss playing for top 8 time. This is when you get to see the people who really like to draw their cards.
Are you somebody who subscribes to the sentiment that the best 3 words of Magic are draw a card?
I think so, to a certain degree. I'm definitely a very big fan of winning games through grinding with card advantage. It's my preferred way to win a game of Magic.
In comes Soul of the Rapids here for Austin. Ooh, flash in that Windstrider here.
A nice answer, but Austin's been drawing 2 cards for quite a while, so there's a pretty good chance he'll have an instant speed answer or a trick.
No block there from Costa. Just going to swing in on his own with the Hoarder and the Strider. Oh, here's one of my favorite cards from the set.
Then.
Twilight Prophet. And Costa already has the City's Blessing. There's a look. Flying. Ascend. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have the City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is that card's converted mana cost. Wow.
And Costa correctly recognizing that because of the Profane Procession he has in play and because of all the extra cards he's drawn, that Austin probably has a lot of creatures stranded in his hand, and instead of giving him the opportunity to maybe try to trade some things off and letting the game go a little bit longer, he's just going to try to get Austin dead here.
Yeah, Costa's deck is looking pretty sweet. Profane Procession, Twilight Prophet, Arch of Araska, Hostage Taker, Deadeye Brawler.
Yeah, this deck is no joke.
Golden Demise here from Bursavich.
Yeah, by itself, it's only killing this one creature, but I imagine he's going to have something else to go with it,
yeah.
right?
If he's just getting rid of a Direfleet Hoarder, I don't know. This is Kenji's favorite card in the set, Golden Demise.
It's been the best card in my deck most times I've had it.
Yeah, I'll just crack a pack, look at it, and I'm like, Golden Demise? Shouldn't I just take that? Marshall, don't look at me like that. Not cracking a pack just for cracking a pack. I mean like a Magic Online when I'm drafting. Fathom Fleet Border here, the revealed card for Costa. That Twilight Prophet doing work by sitting there.
I mean, that's a 6-point damage swing just from a triggered ability during Costa's upkeep. Pretty nice.
Yeah, and Costa's hand, as we've mentioned, just completely stacked. No attacks there. Passes back over to Austin, whose life total is 4.
Yeah, playing around actual everything here is Matt Costa.
Can't play around a card that just sits there, so he's going to scoop up his cards. Matt Costa taking game 1 there over Austin Bursavich. Adam Snook as well with a win for that team down on table C versus Ben Friedman. So let's check in on table B. Seth Manfield, #1 in the world, versus David Shields.
Dave Shields has done pretty well over the years. Not quite as well as his opponent.
Overgrown Armasaur in play there for Dave Shields, getting in, followed up by a thrashing Brontodon. We get a Saproling creature token here thanks to the Enrage ability on the Overgrown Armasaur, and Reckless Rage dealing 2 damage to the Armasaur, 4 damage to the Exultant Sky Marcher of Seth Manfield.
Yeah, nice removal spell there. Also creating a Saproling for Dave Shields in the process.
Oh, take a look at that. Table C, Adam Snook, 2-0 over Ben Friedman. Very quickly as well, I might add.
And remember that Shields, Costa, and Snook, they cannot make the top 4 of this tournament. They're essentially playing for 5th place here. The 5th place is still pretty impressive. A tournament with, hundreds and hundreds of teams.
And a lot of big-name teams as well. Seth Manfield on 9, David Shields on 13. But the team on the left side of your screen has a lot of work to do. They are down 1 match and 1 game. In comes the Armasaur, in comes the Brontodon.
Some really nice stats on those 2 cards. They're up against a vampire deck like Seth's. Seth may be lining up a triple block here, and the reason he would be doing this as opposed to simply double blocking something is so that he does not get 2-for-1 by a removal spell from Dave Shields. If he had simply blocked with 2 creatures, Dave could use something like Unfriendly Fire to kill one of them and eat the other one with the Brontodon. Brontodon, a very sad picture on the card. We've talked about it throughout the weekend.
Thrashing a ship, but at his own expense. All right, our Sanguine Glorifier will go down along with the Thrashing Brontodon. There's a Thunder Herd Migration, revealing in Atali the Primal Storm, just for the fear factor, potentially.
Yes.
Dave is going to search up a Plains from his deck as well.
Is it possible that Dave has something instant speed for 3 mana if he chose to reveal that Atali? I imagine it could be something like Bombard because of the attack that he made. It leads me to believe that he was trying to bait a double block, but best player in the world, not buying it. If I was Seth, I think I probably put Dave on some combination of Bombard and Atali as his last 2 cards.
Oh, that's pretty good. Seth Manfield here. No fear at 5 life. Swings in with the attack. What does he have to keep himself alive? It is a Luminous Bonds. No Bombard end of turn.
No, it looks like it was just a Colossal Dreadmaw in hand.
All right, Dave Shields doing some math here on the table. We know he's holding that Dreadmaw and that Atali.
Interesting, Atali, a significantly more powerful card than Colossal Dreadmaw, but the trample on Colossal Dreadmaw very relevant here with Seth Manfield at just 5 life.
This game is close.
It's a very close race here.
All right, so he's just going to play that Atali and pass the turn back. At 7 life, see if Seth Manfield has any way to respond to this Atali. Doesn't look like he does, as he's just getting in for 1 with that Kite Sail Freebooter in the air. Passes back to Dave, who draws this card quite slowly.
I believe it may have been a Lightning Strike.
Yeah, I think it was.
Very dangerous.
All right, here comes Atali. Top card. You get it.
It's a pretty nice one.
Yeah, it is. Sadistic Sky Marcher there revealed for Seth Manfield. Wow. It has lifelink. Very important. Dusk Legion Zealot here just going to chump away to Atali.
Dave Shields now. The option of tapping out for that Colossal Dreadmaw or leaving open the Lightning Strike. Probably just going to tap out now.
They're talking about the rules text on Sadistic Sky Marcher. As an additional cost to cast it, reveal a vampire for your hand or pay 1. Does Dave Shields have to pay 1?
I believe because it's an additional cost that's included. So Atali says that you don't have to pay their mana cost.
That's actually an interesting question.
You do have to pay the additional cost, yeah.
Okay, so you don't pay the mana costs in this situation, but any additional costs you do have to pay.
Yeah, so he does not have the mana now to cast that Colossal Dreadmaw.
Yeah, and Seth Manfield is going to take a loss here. Dave Shields racks one up for the team, and as you can see, all of the wins are on the right side of the table for Costa, Shields, and Snook. Let's check in on Table A. Austin Bursavich versus Matt Costa. Let's take a look at Bursavich's hands. Or hand, rather. Slaughter the Strong in hand is a good card to know about.
And Matt Costa here sideboarding in a Dark Inquiry, recognizing that Austin's deck is mostly just a pile of defenders, and that if Matt Costa can take out the big finisher, the important card, that he'll put himself in a pretty good position to win a longer game.
Yeah, and once you know about that Slaughter the Strong 2, it becomes far less potent. And attack here with a Sailor of Means. Matt Costa shrugs, blocks. Shipwreck Looter here was the purpose behind that attack, triggering raid. Bursavich will loot. I see a Spell Swindle in Matt Costa's hand, by the way.
Oh my goodness. It's an exciting card. It's more exciting when they have something huge to follow it up with, of course.
It would be cool if he was able to counter a Slaughter the Strong with it. Just because it's such a high impact card. Although Matt Costa's creatures, so far, not very strong. Sadistic Sky Marcher in the air. A strong card in that it's good, but not that it's large.
Austin, Dark Inquiry of his own. Two of them. A lot of sideboarding going on here.
Wow.
And this is a tough decision for Austin. Spell Swindle.
What do you take?
Obviously a very powerful card, but I think you have to take Secrets of the Golden City. I mean,
I agree.
Matt's only 2 cards away from having the City's Blessing, and if he draws something like a Sailor of Means in the following turn, then suddenly that's enough cards to have the City's Blessing to draw 3 cards the next turn, and 3 cards for 1 card is quite the deal.
Yeah, he's taking Secrets of the Golden City here. Deadeye Brawler was the draw for Costa. Great draw. Gets in for 2, lifelink in the air. And once, same as Slaughter the Strong, once you know your opponent has a Spell Swindle, becomes far less potent. Bursavich down to 18, Costa up to 24. There's that Deadeye Brawler. Death Touch 2/4. When it connects, draw a card.
And that Deadeye Brawler, unless Austin has, something decent here, he's going to be in a really bad position because then Matt can start backing up that Brawler with a hard counterspell in the form of that Spell Swindle that we saw.
Another Sailor of Means for Bursavich.
And that will be enough. It means that Matt has a 4 toughness guy, and that Austin can put all of his guys in front to block, trade away.
All right, there is a Traveler's Amulet, and that is going to trigger Ascend, I believe, for Matt Costa. Yep, that Deadeye Brawler is online. And once you get Ascend, of course, you have it the rest of the game. So even though now he has traded away that amulet.
Yeah, even before he plays that land, he
still has it.
City's Blessing sticks around forever and ever and ever. Of course, I don't think Matt's going to be willing to trade that Deadeye Brawler for a pair of Sailor of Means or a Sailor of Means and a Shipwreck Looter. He's going to want to keep it around.
And there's that Sadistic Sky Marcher coming in once again for Costa.
Even if Austin does have a particularly strong answer here, the Spell Swindle, keeping Matt Costa in the driver's seat.
Costa here considering attacks. Looks like the Brawler and the Sky Marcher are going to get into the red zone here. And just like you said, JVL, all 3 of Austin's creatures jumping in front of that Brawler.
And Costa had to expect this would be the end result there.
Not quite sure what this is. Maybe a Vanquish the Week, potentially?
Yeah, sounds right that it would be one of those.
Yep, and there it is. Down goes the team for Bursavich. No way to save his creatures in that fight.
Worth noting, though, this does give Bursavich a window in which he can resolve something. Matt Costa has access to 4 mana here, so this is maybe the only turn where he wouldn't have the Spell Swindle, and Austin's going to take that Swindle out of his hand.
Was it Heartless Pillage?
I believe it was, yes.
Wow. I haven't thought about that card for a while. Or ever.
I don't know. It's a card you sideboard in when you're on the draw in normal sealed deck.
Okay. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Raid. You also get a treasure. And there's that slaughter from Austin Bursavich. Trying to get rid of that Deadeye Plunderers. Reading through Slaughter Strong, it's brought up a number of questions this weekend. Each player chooses any number of creatures he or she controls with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices all other creatures he or she controls.
Yeah, so Matt Costa thought that it was creatures with power 4 or greater would, be destroyed, and therefore he sacrificed the treasure to try to make his plunderers live, but then he recognized that it's total power 4 or less, so spent a treasure unnecessarily, but still in steady control of this game.
Soul of the Rapids is a play there for Bursavich. 3/2 flying hexproof. Matt Costa, though, gonna battle Wanted Scoundrels, gets in, as well as that Deadeye Brawler. Soul of the Rapids blocking the Scoundrels will get Bursavich a pair of treasure tokens. But Matt Costa sitting pretty at 30 life. Austin Bursavich at 7 and nothing on the board. Save those tokens. Throws it almost immediately back over to Matt Costa, who attacks, has the City's Blessing, will draw a card, unless Austin has anything to say about this.
Yeah, at this point, Costa just running away with it. Card advantage, threat. See a hostage taker in his hand.
Doesn't even need it. Twilight Prophet here for Matt Costa, and that all just about slams the door on Austin Bursavich. Sailor of Means, last-ditch effort here. Twilight Prophet will see what you reveal. Here we go. Justin Island saved from immediate death this turn. There's the hostage taker taking the Sailor of Means. End the game. Matt Costa 2-0 over Austin Bursavich. That gives the team of Costa, Shiels, and Snook the match, and that is the round 14 here at Grand Prix Indianapolis. Well, there's a pretty hard loss there for the team of Manfield, but they had some amazing plays today and a great run at the tournament so far. Same goes for Costa's team.
Yeah, I mean, both those teams now, definitely finishing in the 5th through 8th range. Great run for both of them over the course of the weekend. 2 of the better teams that showed up here. Shields' team, maybe not as well known as some of the other teams, but these are people who have all done very well at GPs in the past, and they're good friends. They got to have a great weekend. I think not enough gets talked about with, team sealed in general and just how beautiful this format is. Every morning we would get here, all the teams would be behind us when we were sitting here getting ready. They'd all be building their decks, and we'd just have conversations about how this is our favorite part of Magic. A whole bunch of friends sitting around trying to build a deck together, the teamwork of it, the creativity of it. It's a beautiful thing.
I agree. Let's head down to the feature match area to talk to Matt Costa. Hi there, Maria and JVL here.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How are you feeling about today?
Could be better. I think we're going to get 5th.
Not too shabby, though. Overall, after playing out so many rounds today and yesterday, what are your thoughts on how Rivals is shaping up in this sealed format?
I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it better than the last one. I thought that the linear decks were a little bit less intense, if you will. Like you could, I don't know, it felt like there weren't as many broken tribal decks, and then I also felt like it was more reasonable to build a control deck, or just like a normal deck with creatures and spells without having to rely on a tribe. So the dynamic was, in the old format, if you fell behind, you lost, and that wasn't true here.
Yeah, your deck seemed pretty sweet, by the way. Talk about just how fun this deck was to play.
Oh, it was unbelievable. We had an opposite experience yesterday. I had a deck that I think I finished like 2 or 3 of the rounds, and then Dave and Adam just won every match, and then we went 7-1. And then today I went 6-0. I had a deck that I felt like I really couldn't lose with. And their decks were only average, so it wasn't really intentional. That was just kind of how the cards broke, and we didn't really have a better way to divide it up other than make my deck really good and hope that one of them would win their match.
So how did you decide to team with these 2 people?
They're just 2 of my best friends. None of us really play Magic the way we used to. You know, there was a few years in there where Dave and I played every tournament, and that's just not where we're at anymore. So, you know, we kind of set a goal when we found out about the Team Pro Tour that we're going to try to play all the team tournaments. This is the 2nd time in a row we've missed by 1 loss. We went 11-3 or 12-3 or whatever in Providence also, and got, I think, 9th. So our goal is just to play the Team Pro Tour, and if that's the only Magic we play this year, then that's pretty fun.
Awesome.
Sounds like fun to me.
Well, congratulations on a great run today, and some really exciting stuff to watch on camera. Your deck was just awesome to see in action.
It was fun.
Thank you so much, Matt Costa, Maria and JBL here in the booth with you as we kind of round out day 2, working our way up to the top 4, and team drafting on the way here from Indy. Pretty exciting stuff. And we'll have more Magic for you from our time walk round when we come back after this.